Greetings fellow milk drinkers, wastelanders and outlanders. With the release of Mod Organizer 2.1, my mod list and tutorial on Nexus, the TUCOGUIDE, was updated to version 3.0 to accommodate the new version of Mod Organizer, and SKSE64, so the Skyrim script extender for Skyrim Special Edition, was transferred to the core guide. Just after installing Widescreen, you can find it now. In this video I will show you how to install SKSE64, so the script extender for Skyrim Special Edition, a very essential mod that makes using other essential mods like the SkyUI possible. So we will install SKSE64, then we will install Achievements, Mods Enabler and SkyUI. For the sake of this video I have removed them from my game. So as you can read here, SKSE64 is now a core component of this guide. Installation instructions come after installing Widescreen in this guide. So let's move down to Widescreen. Here we are. I am taking for granted that you did the beginning of this guide up till this point, and here we are, SKSE64. So let's open up its page. It's here, and we need the current special edition build 206 for the current game version. If that changes in the future, just use the latest, as my guide will also be updated for it. So let's get it. I will download everything to this directory, new directory on my desktop, for you to easier see what's going on. Saving the archive, opening the archive, and let's look at my instructions. First, extract from SKSE64 archive to your main game directory the following files, so all the loose files inside the archive. So this one, and that one, and let's open my Skyrim Special Edition game folder, the main game directory where the exe is, Skyrim SE exe, and just extract those files here. That's step 1. Now extract the data folder from the SKSE64 archive somewhere else. Alright, so here's the data. Extract. I will make a new directory for it, SKSE data. So now in my new location for the files concerning this video, I have this directory, and here I have the data from the SKSE64 archive. It contains scripts. So what I will do now is I will right click on this data and use 7-zip. I use 7-zip for archives, and create a new archive, and I will call it SKSE version 206-data.7z. Alright, and the archive is created. So now let's look at the instructions. I have created the archive. Now install the SKSE64 data. Open Mod Organizer 2 and click this. Alright, as you can see I have all my other mods installed already, but just don't worry about that, because with Mod Organizer we can install mods later and move them up here. So now we are ought to click this, navigate to the SKSE64 data archive we just created, and install the data mod, move it to the top of the mod list and activate. So let's do it. Mod Organizer 2, clicking the button, navigating to my freshly created SKSE206 data 7z, opening it, naming it accordingly, SKSE206 data, click on manual. If you run Mod Organizer first, you will need to go through this tutorial, which I just did. And now right click on data and set data directory. Now Mod Organizer says looks good, so I can click OK. The mod was installed. I will now drag it to the beginning of almost the beginning of my mod list here, just after the DLCs, and activate it. Now during recording this video I have edited the guide and deleted the point here that said to rebuild the bashed patch now, because it's totally unnecessary. What we will do now instead is we will create these 3 folders in the game's data directory. So let's open the game's data. And you need MCM config, MCM settings and SKSE. I see I already have MCM, I have config and I have settings. In your Skyrim Special Edition data, create MCM, inside create config and settings folders. A part of that, inside your data directory, also create the folder SKSE. SKSE64 is now installed. Start the game with SKSE loader.exe. In the main menu, open the console with tilde, type get SKSE version altogether and hit enter. If the SKSE version is displayed, it means it works fine. So, to start your game with SKSE, you will need to add SKSE to your Mod Organizer 2 if it's not added automatically. In my case it was, so I can check clicking on edit here. One more time, click on edit and you get this, and let's see the SKSE. Yeah, it detected the loader automatically. You want to start it from your Mod Organizer 2 and test your game and see if you see the SKSE version if you open the console and type get SKSE version and hit enter. If you see the version number, that means you installed it correctly. App shortcut in Mod Organizer 2 was created automatically, and I can start the game with it. Now, optional, if you want Steam overlay to work, your playtime and achievements to be recorded, this is the additional instructions. If you don't want Steam overlay, then you can just skip this video to the point where I start installing the SkyUI. So let's get them optional instructions done. First of all, make the folder data SKSE. So I'm in data now, and I can see I already have SKSE. Inside data SKSE, make the file skse.ini. So I'm going inside and I make new text document and call it skse.ini. Yep, I want to change its extension. Now when I double click on it, it will open in my Notepad++. For you, you might get a Windows dialog asking what program you want to run it with. You can choose Notepad or install Notepad++ like I do. Let's get back to our instructions. So now I opened the file skse.ini, it is empty, and I need this file to contain these lines. I can copy them straight from here and paste them to my document. Just remove these spaces here, save it. Next up, we will rename Skyrim SE.exe to SSE.exe. So let's go back into the main game directory, search up Skyrim SE.exe and rename it to SSE.exe. Now rename SKSE-loader.exe to Skyrim SE.exe. SKSE-loader.exe. Rename it to Skyrim SE.exe. Now, if you start the Skyrim Special Edition launcher from Mod Organizer 2 and hit start, you will play with Steam Overlay. And that's it. That's it for these optional instructions. So now if you reopen Mod Organizer 2 for Skyrim Special Edition, you will notice that the SKSE changed to this, but to have Steam Overlay actually, I use the Skyrim Special Edition launcher. When I run it, click play. I run it from Mod Organizer 2 obviously. I click play. I have the game running, I have SKSE64 running, and I have my Steam overlay. So now let's move on to installing the SkyUI user interface overhaul. If following the TUCOGUIDE, you will now configure the tools to be used with Mod Organizer 2, SSE Edit, Loot, Resaver and FryBash, and this is visible from 9 minutes and 08 seconds in this video over here. Then you can download the skip intro save file, read the instructions about the loot, rebuild and test game procedure, and finally we get to the mods. Here are some more instructions about how to download the mods and how to associate them in Mod Organizer to be recognized with the Nexus ID. And finally we get to the achievements mods enabler. Yes, we will first install this and afterwards the SkyUI. So these instructions are pretty simple. Let's get the achievements mods enabler SKSE64. I am visiting the site, going to files, and here we have two options: achievements mods enabler or achievements mods enabler SKSE64. We choose this one. A manual download, and this will go into my mod installers MO Skyrim SE. I will overwrite because it's already there. I already did that before. And this directory, I will show you, open show in folder. This is the directory that I have configured in Mod Organizer settings, paths, to contain the downloaded mods. I keep it on drive K, which is a mechanical drive to spare space on my SSD. I don't need them there. The thing is that this directory that you set in paths over here for downloads, it will be reflected in your mod organizer too, in the right pane in the downloads tab. Here are all the mods that you downloaded to this directory. So as you can see, achievements mods enabler SKSE64 is here. So let's double click it, click on manual to see if the structure is correct. Now right click on the data folder, set data directory, mod organizer 2 says looks good, click OK, and it's installed. And it will always appear on the bottom of your mods. So I will now move it up to be straight after SKSE206 data. And I dragged it over here. Now it's in the correct position and I activate it. And that's it. Looking at the instructions, we can move on straight to SkyUI. So let's open the page. This is the SkyUI Nexus page. Let's see the instructions. Get SkyUI 5.2 SE or newest version if there is another. So let's go to files. 5.2 is now the current version. Manual download. And save it to your mod installers ammo, like I have set in my paths to your Skyrim Special Edition mods. It wants to overwrite the already existing file. I will change the name. You don't need to do that, just click save. And now the mod was downloaded, and when I open mod organizer 2 and go to downloads, then it will be on the bottom because I have sorted it by file time. So SkyUI 5.2 is now here, and when I double click on it, I see that the name is correct, and I can click manual. And it's installed. It's over here. I can now first drag it to the correct position, place it under achievements mods enabler, tick it, and it contains a plugin. So I need to sort my load order after this. And then you will need to rebuild the bashed patch as well. So my current bashed patch is now outdated, and I have a mod for it. A link to the bashed patch procedure will be in the video description. So I will deactivate my current bashed patch and activate all plugins, deactivate those that I don't want to be activated. These are Bijin mods here, and also Serana and Valerica in my case. The SkyUI was properly sorted when I clicked here before now, and now I can run Vrybash. Scroll down, activate the bashed patch, right click, rebuild patch, and confirm with build patch. and the bashed patch is ready. So now the bashed patch was created, but it was transferred to a special override folder, and I get this prompt here that there are files in your override mod, which is always on the very bottom. So in the override mod, when I open it, I can see bashed patch and docs, and this is the stuff that was created by Vrybash. And so what I can do is right click on it, right click on it, create mod, and name it like bashed patch #17 in my case, because it's the 17th I created. I just number them for transparency reasons, so I can know what's going on here later. And now look at my plugins list. The plugins that were merged into the bashed patch, they are already deactivated here, so there are now some deactivated plugins. And when I activate this mod now, the bashed patch will appear over here. And now the game is ready to be played. Now, if you use a ultra-wide monitor like I do, we will install an additional mod that is called Complete Widescreen Fix for Vanilla and SkyUI, and so let's open the page of this mod on Nexus, go to Files, and download the version for SkyUI 5.2. This version says about resolution 2560 at times 1080p, but it works as well for 1440p, so it's 3440 pixels times 1440 pixels, like I have, and it works perfectly. So manual download again. It will tell you that you need SkyUI for it. Download. You will not get this one in here at the end. You will get it like this. I overwrite it because I already had it. And it goes into my mod installers folder configured in mod organizer. So when I now go back to mod organizer and to downloads, it will appear on the very bottom. And I can double click it. The name is correct. Let's see, manual. Okay, looks good. And now the mod was installed here, but I want it straight after SkyUI. Now when I activate it, it contains an ESP plugin when you double click on it on the file tree. And if it contains an ESP plugin, that means I need to do the bashed patch procedure again. And there's no problem. I deactivate the current bashed patch, enable all plugins again. Sorry, before I do that, I click on sort. It doesn't matter that I already enabled all now. It will sort it properly. And now the widescreen was sorted after SkyUI, that's good. So I enable all of them, deactivate those ESPs that I don't want to be used. You can hide them, but I don't care if you use these mods at all. So now all the plugins are activated except for those I don't use. I run Vrybash again. Activate the bashed patch again, right click on it, rebuild, confirm, build patch. I see the summary, click OK, close VryBash, and now there are files in my overwrite folder again, so I double check if this is only bashed patch stuff. Docs and bashed patch is only bashed patch stuff. Alright, so I can right click on overwrite and create mods, and I name it bashed patch #18. Alright, now I can activate it and the bashed patch will appear on the bottom of my mod list. Now the game is ready to be played, and what I can do, I can just highlight those two previous bashed patches and remove mod. The game is ready to be played. Skyrim Script Extender 64, Achievements Mods Enabler and SkyUI and the Widescreen Fix were installed, and I can enjoy my game now. The bashed patch was rebuilt, previously the plugins were sorted, so everything was done according to the plan. So that's it for this. We can now start Skyrim Special Edition using the launcher, because I like it that way, to use it with the Steam overlay, and I can test the game and have fun. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like that kind of content, and drop a comment if you have any questions, or just put a comment on the TUCOGUIDE posts section. See you in the next videos. I'm logging off now.